Mother, I bring you fresh prey.
You are so kind to me, daughters. Now, let's take a look at him. Well, Ethan Winters. You escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you are.
Yes, Mother.
Hey, this is Bigg and welcome to another episode of Buy, Avoid or Wait for Sale. And in this video, I'll be talking about Resident Evil Village. Now, this is a game that I almost didn't buy because I haven't actually played Resident Evil 7 yet, but the hype train came along and I just had to play this game. So, is it all hype or is it really that good? Now, before I get into this, can you do me a massive favor and hit the like button? Because if you haven't already bought this game, I'm sure you're going to find this video useful. Also, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and also click on the notification bell so you never miss one of my future videos. Right, let's get into it. So before I go into the story, I just want to say that this video does not contain any spoilers where the game's story is concerned. I'll be sticking to what's been revealed in trailers and in interviews. Now, the first question is, can you play this game without playing 7? And the answer is yes. When you start the game, you're given the option of playing a video that shows the events of 7. I chose to skip that video because I plan on playing 7 after this. I didn't want any spoilers. So I went into the game not knowing what happened in 7. Okay, but be warned, there are some pretty big spoilers for 7 towards the end of the game. So if you're bothered, you may as well get 7 as well because it's pretty cheap now. But anyway, the game takes place 3 years after the events of 7, and Ethan Winters and his wife, Mia, are trying to get on with their lives, along with their baby daughter, Rose. Now, that peaceful life is interrupted when, as shown in the trailers, Chris Redfield shows up and kills Mia and takes Rose. Without spoiling what happens, Ethan finds himself in a Romanian village on a mission to rescue his daughter. Now, standing in his way are the 4 House Lords that represent a different type of horror movie. There's the extremely tall vampire who all these men have been suffering from quarantine thirst, have been lusting over. That's Lady Dimitrescu and her 3 daughters. There's Donna Benevito and her doll Angie. Now, this section is responsible for me feeling the most shook throughout the entire game. If creepy dolls make you feel uncomfortable, you may want to wait until the daylight before you play this section. There's Salvatore Moreau, who's a grotesque hunchback mutant who lives in the reservoir. And then there's the coolest out of the 4 characters, Carl Eisenberg, who runs the Eisenberg factory and has his own unique special abilities. And each of the 4 lords have a unique, fun boss fights before completing that particular house and returning to the village. Now, the village actually works as kind of like a central hub for the game. And of course, there are plenty monsters for you to kill. There's lichens, zombies, and a bunch of other monsters that I don't want to mention and ruin the surprise. Now, the thing that attracted me the most about this game was just how much it reminded me of Resident Evil 4. And after playing it, I can confirm that it plays like a first-person shooter version of Resident Evil 4. The guns feel satisfying to shoot. Blasting a monster with a shotgun feels especially satisfying, and things can get tense when enemies are attacking you while you're trying to reload. In many situations, I'd start reloading my shotgun, put 1 shell in, and have to fire it just to knock an attacking lichen back. And there's a good variety of weapons as well. You'll find some weapons in lock boxes around the village, like the extremely useful Magnum, and others can be bought from the Duke. Now, the Duke is the merchant that will randomly pop up and set up shop when you least expect it. You can sell items that you found around different areas of the village and the 4 houses, and use that money to buy weapons, weapon upgrades, recipes to craft ammo and explosives from resources you found, and it'll even cook you a meal. Yeah, I'm serious. It'll cook you a meal from animals that you found when hunting, because there is hunting in this game as well, which will give you a permanent boost to things like health and damage. Now, just like in previous games, you have to watch your ammo. There are some sections where you'll have so many enemies to deal with that it will just waste your ammo, and the smartest thing to do is to run. The zombies are still slow like in other games, but they also like the element of surprise in this one. I'm not just talking about the ones who like to play dead like in the previous games. There are zombies that will just climb out of the ground as you're walking towards them, for the perfect jump scare. You'll notice the lichens will sometimes just stay perched on a roof of a building, not attacking, but just watching you to see if you're going to start some shit. I didn't like to take any chances with them, so if I saw a lichen, it was getting shot in the head, which usually resulted in a bunch more lichens coming after me. There are many things I love about this game, but one of the main things I was impressed with was how well it uses sound. There are times when you're being stalked by an enemy that you can't beat, and the only option is to hide, and the music will just start to intensify when they're getting close to you while you're hiding out of sight. Then you'll hear Ethan's breathing get more and more intense as the enemy gets closer, and the music gets louder. And if you're playing with a decent headset, which I definitely recommend for the best experience, the sound just hits you different. I saw in another review that, and I can definitely agree with this, that it's the parts of the game that's not that doesn't have any combat where you're going to feel the most uncomfortable. I 100% agree. There are parts where you'll be walking in the dark with just a small area lit up from your flashlight, and you'll hear a small noise or maybe glimpse something run and cross your path in front of you. Everything's done really well, and it just immerses you in the game so well. Now, one thing that I don't usually do in these games is read the notes, left around. I usually start reading and find that they've written a damn essay, and I just want to get back into the gameplay. In this game, the notes that you'll find around that give you useful information, revealing a weakness to take down one of the bosses or one of the difficult enemies or mini bosses. Now, some of them are actually pretty funny as well, like the ones found in the castle, written by scared employees who realize there's something not quite right about the giant vampire's daughters. And they're usually just small notes as well, so you don't spend ages reading them. You can just read them pretty quickly and carry on your game. The map is also very easy to follow and will show you which areas you fully explored by changing the color to green, while unfinished areas remain red. Now, although I actually own a PS5 and I was impressed with just how good it looked on console, I bought this game on PC. Now, this was simply because I prefer to use a keyboard and mouse on first-person shooters. This definitely came in handy with the combat, as I was wasting less ammo than when I was playing it on PS5, when I was playing the demo on PS5, because I was actually hitting my target. I have an AMD 5700 XT Red Devil, which I know isn't capable of running this game in 4K or with ray tracing, but that really didn't bother me. I was able to play the game at 1440p at a high frame rate, and it still looked great. There were a couple instances where the image would start to lag when the vampire daughters appeared, but most of the game it just ran smoothly with only a couple crashes. And then I got to Eisenberg's factory, and oh shit did I get some bugs. And these were game-breaking bugs as well, that were stopping me from continuing the game. I had a bug where I would get severe screen tearing when I turned left, and then it would go back to normal when I turned right. And every other issue would just make the game crash when I got to the exact same corridor in that level. I had to reduce the graphics and lower the max frame rate just to be able to continue, and it still wasn't done. When I defeated the final boss, I was sitting back and watching the final cutscene, and then the game just crashed again during the cutscene, which meant that the game didn't actually register it as being completed, and I had to go and do that boss fight all over again and then just pray that it didn't crash again, and I was lucky it didn't. But this kind of thing pisses me off. Now, I enjoyed this game so much that I would love to play it again, but I can't go back until they release fixes for the PC version of the game. So hopefully we don't have to wait too long for that to happen. Another thing I would say is that normal difficulty is, just a little bit too easy during the first half of the game. I played on normal mode just to complete it quickly so I could do this review, but I found myself breezing through it and hardly dying. When you complete the game, it unlocks the Village of Shadows difficulty, which I'm going to try at some point, just for shits and giggles. But but at the moment, I think I might just try the the hardcore difficulty, I think it's called. Whenever they fix the issues with the game. Now, Mercenaries mode is unlocked after completing the game. I had a quick play on this and it is fun. You enter an area of the village and you're given a time limit to kill all monsters in the area. You can collect performance boosters for things like increased headshot damage and make the enemy explode on kills with your guns. You can also collect orbs that will increase the time limit, and at the end of the round you can take the points you've earned to buy ammo and weapons from the Duke for the next round. It's not a bad mode, but it's not really enough to keep me hooked. I mean, I was never really a big Mercenaries player in Resident Evil 4. So now for the question, should you buy, avoid or wait for a sale? It's a very simple answer. You should definitely buy this game. Resident Evil Village lives up to all the hype and is the best game I've played so far this year. I'll even go as far as to say that this is, my favourite Resident Evil game that I've played. They've managed to get the balance between action and horror just right. There are crazy fights, run for your life moments, what the fuck moments, fun boss fights, and as crazy and ridiculous as things are going to get in the story, it will make perfect sense at the end. Whether you own a console or a gaming PC, you need to get this game, and you should definitely get it before you run into any spoilers online. If you are interested in getting the PC version of the game, I've left some links in the description for you to get a cheaper price. Now, let me know in the comments if you're playing Village or if you're planning on getting it. If you already have got it, how are you liking the game so far? But please keep any comments spoiler free. If you did find the video useful, please remember to hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss any of my future videos. Thanks for watching.